Today's topic is going to be holistic tips, and I'm going to give you 3 different holistic tips, and we're going to do 3 different videos. So you're going to want to watch each video to get each tip. The first video is going to be talking about water and how important water is in your life. The second one's going to talk about a food group that actually creates 80% of our diseases that we suffer from here in the United States. And the third one is going to teach you how to eat. Now, these are different, but they're not difficult. They're 5,000-year-old philosophy and teachings, and 5,000 years ago you couldn't do too many things besides hunt and gather, so it can't be too hard to learn this. For those who don't know me, my name is Dr. Michael House. I'm here in Sarasota, Florida. I'm a holistic doctor for over 2 decades right now. I also do acupuncture and oriental medicine, and I've been helping heal people for 2 decades, and I've actually helped heal thousands of people by teaching them. My actually definition of doctor is healer and teacher. And so one of the most important things for the human body is water. Our body is made up of around 73% water. Our blood's made right around 90% water. And today in our society, there's really no clean water anywhere. Now, I want to first talk about kind of like the rule of thumb of how much water you really should drink and how you should drink it. So everything I'm going to talk about, it's going to be filtered water. So I'm not going to say filtered water every time. So just assume we're talking about filtered water. Now, when we're made of 4 different things, we're made of bone, muscle, fat, and water. And so what happens is when you weigh yourself on a scale, how do you really know what you're weighing? A gallon of water is 8 pounds. So you could go up and down 8 pounds in a day. So you need to get what they call a body fat scale with water hydration. And so for women, the normal body fat range is 18 to 25. I like to see women right around 20. And for men, it's 10 to 18%. Now, what happens is when you fall into those body fat ranges, you take your weight, you divide it in half, and that's how many ounces of water you drink. So let's say someone weighs 160 pounds, okay? So that would mean they would drink 80 ounces of water. Now, the thing is, if you do caffeine, you need to add another cup of water. Even decaf has only 20% less caffeine, so you still need to add some water because caffeine dehydrates you, okay? Things also like Red Bull, 5-Hour Energy, they have different herbs in there that will dehydrate the body. Also, if let's say you're taking any type of medication, and let's say you're taking 6 different medications, but you only take them twice a day. That means 2 more cups of water on what you're supposed to drink. Well, let's say you're doing that many, but you have to do them 3 times a day. Well, that's 3 more cups of water. And then last is alcohol. So alcohol dehydrates us, and so for every glass of alcohol you drink, you need to add another cup of water on top of that, okay? Now, when it comes to people, when they have disease or they're sick or they're trying to heal, you want to drink 3/4 your body weight in ounces. So let's go back to the 160-pound person. So that's going to be a little over a gallon, because a gallon has 128 ounces in it, and you need to drink it at room temperature. I used to drink cold water all the time because I thought it cooled me down, and it actually doesn't cool you down. It makes you hot because your body's got to stay homeostasis, which is 98.7. So what happens is when you drink cold water, the body's got to turn it around and warm it up. So the energy you're getting from the water is actually being used up to warm that water up. So once again, you want to drink room temp, and I always thought that was kind of strange. Now, if you do run hot, you put things like lemon or lime in it. You can also put some mint in it to cool you down. But once again, you'll see when you're drinking the room temperature water, you're going to be able to drink a lot more water a lot faster. Now, another thing I like to tell people is you don't want to drink more than a couple cups after 6 o'clock at night, or you'll be up all night urinating. So, and this is, my dad always says, you know, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So this is what I tell people. Take a couple days and see what you can drink comfortably. Let's say you can drink 4 cups comfortably of water. So on Monday, you want to drink 4 1/4 cups. By Thursday, you should be up to 4.5 cups. And then by Friday, you should be up to 5. Then the next Monday, you start at 5.25. Thursday, 5.5, and then on Sunday you're up to 6. And what happens actually, as you drink more water, your body fat will come down. You might never have to drink your body weight in water, because to lose weight, that's what you have to do, is drink your body weight in water. And people is like, there's no way I'd ever do that. Trust me, I have some women come in here 400 or 500 pounds, and when I tell them that, they're like, there's no way. And the crazy part is, when you put them on that body fat scale, the higher fat levels they have, the lower they have dehydration. I had a lady come in here yesterday. She weighs around 220 pounds. Her water was 20, and it's supposed to be between 60 to 65 on the scale, and her body fat was 61. Now, 50% above means you're morbidly obese and your weight is killing you. And it was because she was dehydrated. And she's like, well, I drink a lot of water. And so she told me she drank like 64 ounces a day, but she had 2 cups of coffee, so that was minus 32. She drank a Diet Coke, that was minus another 6 or 8. Just give her that, and you see it starts to add up. Plus, she was taking all types of medications 2 times a day, so she was actually at negative. And that's why she was so overweight, because the way the body works is to get rid of waste or fat, there's only 3 ways: pee, poop, and sweat. And they all have one thing in common, which is water, because there's a saying that says, if there's not enough water in the canal, the boat doesn't flow. Okay, so what happens is your lymphatic system's like the gutter system in the house. The gutter takes the water away, but when there's leaves in the gutter, it doesn't work. So what happens is, when you do mucus-forming foods, it clogs up the gutter, and it's like having leaves in your gutter. And we're going to get into that a little bit later on, but those are the rules of thumb. Once again, let's go over that again. If you're in your normal body fat range, you drink half your body weight in ounces of water. If you're sick or you're trying to heal from an injury, you drink 3/4 your body weight in ounces of water. And if you're trying to lose weight, you literally need to drink your body weight in ounces of water. Okay? And then remember, you have to add a cup for every caffeine you take. You have to add a cup for any type of alcohol you drink, and you have to add a cup if you're on any type of medication, over the counter or under the counter. It's not vitamins, it's not supplements, it's anything that you would buy from a drugstore. So then the next thing is, we got to talk a little bit about water. There's no fresh water anywhere in the United States anymore at all. And a lot of people will say, I drink bottled water. Well, you got to understand, when they bottle water, it sits in warm warehouses, then it's trucked in warm trucks, and the plastic leaches into the water. So if you're going to drink bottled water, I suggest you find a brand that comes in glass. The only brand I know is a brand called Voss, okay? But the crazy part about it is, we're paying more for water than we are gasoline. A 16-ounce bottle is like $1. How many ounces in a gallon? 128. You're paying close to $10 a gallon for water, and people are freaking out that gas has gone up to $3.50. Well, water is even worse. And so the best thing to do is get some type of filtration, okay? And there's 2 types of filtration. There's one for wells, and there's one for city water. Now, the crazy part is, if you're on city water, they actually stick chlorine in the water to kill the bacteria. But I challenge you, get a pool test kit and test your tap water. And the most insane thing is, you're not allowed to swim in a pool when it's high, but your tap water has more chlorine than your pool has. People say they jump out of the pool to jump in the shower, wash the chlorine. It's more like jump out of the shower and jump back into the pool. It's absolutely crazy. All chlorine is kind of like wrapper on the bread. You take the wrapper off the bread before you eat the bread, you need to take the chlorine out of the water. Another thing, they say they put fluoride in our water to help with our teeth. When I used to go to the dentist, and they did those fluoride treatments. They'd stick this tray in your mouth for like 10-15 minutes. You drool all over the place. And let me ask you, how long does water stay on your teeth when you swallow water? Seconds to minutes. And unfortunately, fluoride's a toxin, and that's not good for your liver. So there's also lead in the water. There's also, if you have PVC pipe, pinoviate chloride in the water. And so people go, well, I don't drink my water. And then I say, well, what do you shower in? And they're like, well, my tap water. Well, showering in tap water is 10 times worse than drinking it, because for one reason, your body's semi-permeable. So you're bringing in all this tap water into your body. I mean, there's been studies that talk about how tap water is really making a lot of people sick. And people think it's drinking it when it's really what they're bathing in. Not only that, that chlorine turns into a gas and that goes into the air. And then when you do your dishwasher, your washing machine, that turns into gas, that goes into the air. Plus the chemicals we're pouring in our dishwasher and washer machine. Do you see how we're like toxic sponges these days? And so the best thing you can do is get some type of water filtration. On my site, there it says Dr.House approves, okay? And when you go to there, you can scroll down and you're gonna see there's these two type of shower filters that I suggest you take. There's one in the handle, and then there's one that comes as soon as the pipe comes out, you put it there, and then you put your head on that. Now what happens is with water filtration, you need to have the media in the water a long contact time. So like a Brita water filter, the filter is about that big and it's got a carbon-based media. So it's not that big. The water filtration that I'll suggest to you, and we'll put a link at the bottom, it has 3 different medias, and what it does is it goes up the middle and then down the sides, so it sits about that high, but you have water filtration about that high, okay? And even what's even better about that is typically when you have filters, you have to replace these filters. With this filtration system, every 6 months to the year, you take the 2 hoses out, you switch them around, and you back flush your system, so you'll have this thing for 10 years. And it'll come out to less than a penny a gallon you're paying over 10 years versus paying $10 for water. They make under-the-counter ones, they make shower ones, they make whole house ones. I myself have a whole house system, but I don't trust the PVC pipe from my whole house system to my drinking water, so I have an under-the-counter one. I even have a shower filter because, once again, I don't trust it. I have some copper and lead pipes in my house. I have the PVC, and so I have both the filtration, the one that goes on before the head and the other one that's in the head itself. And I'll tell you, once you filter and take a filtered shower, you'll never go back. I mean, you'll feel so soft, you almost feel slimy in a way. In fact, you use less shampoo, less soap, and you won't have to get out and put all this lotion on, because people get out of the shower, they're all dry, they have to put this lotion on. Now, your body's semi-permeable. What's in the lotion? A lot of lotions don't have a lot of good things in there. So if you would just shower in tap water, you're going to have to do that. But you shower in filter water, it's going to be completely the opposite. If you have any questions at all, you can always leave questions and comments down at the bottom. And I always do free consultations here. But once again, let's get to well water, because a lot of people say, well, I'm on well water and it's good water. There's no good water in the world. We have animals that pee and poo in the water. I have raccoons. It's pretty disgusting. They poop in my pool all the time. It's gross because that's how they do. They wash their food and do the nasty in the pool. So that's called cryptosporidium or giardia. There could be heavy metals. There could be pesticides that are leaking down into your water. So you need a filtration even on well water. I mean, there might be some water somewhere in the middle of a glacier that might be fresh water, but we have that toxic rain that comes down from all the companies and stuff. So literally there is no fresh water. And like I said, I'm going to leave a link for the filtration I'm talking about, and it's very inexpensive. People come to your house and they give you a free water test, and then they want to sell you a $5,000 to $7,000 water filtration system. The filtration system system, the whole house I'm talking about, is only anywhere between $800 to $1,200. You have a plumber put it in. They have a pre-filter that you do. It's money back guarantee for the first half year, and it's warranted for up to 10 years. And so it really is the best way to go, but I would still suggest you want to have some type of drinking filtration and some type of showering or bathing filtration. And people say, well, you know, I have these filtration in my refrigerator. Well, if you look at those filtration, it's only that much filtration there. It's usually just one type of media, carbon-based media, and that doesn't take out everything. A lot of people say, well, I boil my water. Well, you really can't boil lead out of water, so you can't do that. There's systems, people say, well, I have a reverse osmosis system, and you gotta understand, reverse osmosis takes 3 to 5 gallons to make 1 gallon of water. Okay, we already have water issues. Now you're wasting gallons of water to drink fresh water. Just doesn't make sense to me. There's other people who say, well, I drink distilled water. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. Distilled water was meant for when you have an iron that has a little steamer. You don't want any type of minerals in there because it clogs up the pores. And so everyone says, well, my doctor said I need to drink distilled water. Well, what happens is when you take the minerals out of the water, it becomes active. And so when you drink it, it's an active, it needs to balance itself out, and it will take minerals from your body. Okay, so that's not a smart thing at all. And you know, these day and age, everyone knows they do filtration, but they just don't have the education behind it. And so once again, you want to find a good filtration with different medias, and you need to have the contact time with the water in the filtration system as big as you can. Like the whole house system sits this big, but the filtration is this big before it comes to you. Okay, and once again, like I said, water is pretty much the most important thing in the world. We can live a couple weeks without food, but we can't live too long without water. The only thing that's more important than water is air, and we'll talk about that one day too. If anyone wants to leave me comments, you can. If you have any questions, you can. We can also talk about if you want to come in for a consultation. Your first consultation is free with me. It's always free. It's not going to cost you anything to talk and have questions for me, and then you're going to understand how we can help you, and then we can go from there. So I really look forward to helping every one of you. Now, like I said, we're going to talk about 2 more topics. The next topic we're going to talk about is a pretty interesting topic. It's 80%. There's a food group that causes 80% of our diseases here in the United States. And then after that, we're going to talk about 3 ways to stay healthy and lifestyle changes. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.